Welcome to the Wolfkeeper, a show that's just about everything that you could maybe think about, everything that you can feel that's inside of your heart. What I need for you to do right now is spend the next hour relaxing. Just stop your day before you go into 12 o'clock. And I just want y'all to close your minds, open your hearts, and relax and go on this journey with me. It's a beautiful place that you're about to go, because I want to make you feel, I want to just open you up and think about some things you never really thought about. Right now, the Wolfkeeper. Come on. Good morning, y'all. Come on. It's the Wolfkeeper show. Get ready. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. It's the Wolfkeeper show. Your boy Toriano Sanzoni. Yeah. Chanelli Nell. My boy Tyrone Scott somewhere rocking the Doogie Dogs. Denzel's in his house. Shacky Shack. And for all the people out there that love us, we love you back. Thank you all. Get ready for an amazing show with the Wolfkeeper. Get ready. Here we go. Today on the Wolfkeeper show, I have the amazing, one of my, it's a pleasure to say, great friend, mentor, inspiration, just a person that has changed the world, Mr. Sam Pitroda. How are you, sir?
Hi, Toriano. It's great to be with you. I'm delighted you have given me this opportunity.
Oh, thank you for, thank you. This is a big deal. And I have on the line too, we can't see her, but we can hear her, is my co-host Chanelli Nell. How are you?
Hello, Sam Pitroda. Hey, Toriano. We spoke before. Hey, Sam, how are you?
I'm good.
So, Sam, you're such a modest person, but I love bragging about you because you've done so much for the world as we know it. I mean, India as we know it. And if you haven't, you need to read this book, Dreaming Big, My Journey to Connect India. You are responsible you're a big deal. You're for shaping the world as we know it and all that you've done for the world. I think I just want to get to talking about right now that we cannot avoid talking about is COVID and the racial distress that's happening worldwide. I mean, they're rioting in Kenosha, Wisconsin right now. My friend from Rochester, New York, was sending me images all this weekend of people rioting and fighting and the murders. And you've seen so much over your many years on this planet. How do we get our hands around what's happening right now? Because today's topic is how do we redesign the world? Because we're literally, I mean, we're at ground zero globally now. How do we what's the mission? Where do we start right now?
First of all, thank you for having me on your program, and thank you for asking very important question. Coronavirus has put our world to halt. No one ever thought that all 7.5 billion people will have to take a pause. This little virus has affected everybody. Rich and poor, black, white, yellow, brown, old, young, educated, uneducated, urban, rural. So to me, the real message from Corona crisis is that there are only two things that matter in life. One, planet. We need to take care of our planet because we need planet. Planet doesn't need us. It means we got to be respectful of our environment, global warming, our ocean, our animals, our birds, our forest, our river, because we are all interconnected. What affects our river affects our water, affects our animal, affects our birds, and also affects us. So I think that's a big message there during Corona crisis, that don't ignore your environment. No one had realized that there will be something called coronavirus that will attack all of us. That's nature's way of balancing things. Second message is that beside planet, only thing that matters is people. Irrespective of your color, race, religion, belief, education, income, we are all human beings. And I'm delighted that we all look different. I'm happy that we have this diversity of food, music, look, culture, language, understanding. If we were all same, it would be boring. I want people to be different, and I want to love everybody. And I think that's the message from Corona crisis. Corona crisis is an equalizer, and it is unnecessary for us to fight with each other. There is no need to fight. And I also want people to realize that the only answer is non-violence.
And thank you for those words. Once again, thank you so much for being here. And for some people, let me just say how important and how big of a deal it is that you're here talking to me, that we became friends almost like 3 and 4 years ago. We worked together, taught me a lot about technology, on how to market, on how to relax. Yeah, like relax. In your lifetime, you've put together infrastructures for one of the biggest countries in the world, India. One of the most populated. You worked, chief advisor to the Prime Minister of India, and to insult people's intelligence out there, that's like equivalent to being the vice president of the United States of America. This is a big deal. This is like me interviewing Joe Biden, who's one of your friends. Presidents call you for information. So this is a really big deal that I'm get a chance to interview you on my little show here. But can we share, I know there's not a silver bullet, there's not one answer to it, but I mean, like right now, Michigan Avenue, stores are boarded up and shut down. We have big major stores gone. I mean, in Little Italy, probably 10, 15 stores, U-Haul truck gone forever. I read a stat, they said 832 businesses are closing every day permanently. You have people out here are afraid of getting evicted from their homes. As someone that has advised presidents, around the world over the last 40 plus years, what would you say right now to the administration to say, how do we get a handle on this? Because right now it doesn't look really great going into 2021. And I know you just got through with the Indian election, so you're in election mode. What would you say that has to happen right now to go into 2021 and better than what we're doing right now in 2020?
Okay, let me first talk about how I met Toriano. I think it's important, and there is a lot of lessons to learn from that. I remember Toriano coming to my office 3-4 years ago with a white lady. She had come for some business discussions with me, and Toriano was just sitting there for half an hour. Didn't say a word, but I found him very interesting. Young man, quiet, good looking, impressive, but didn't say a word. So while he was ready to leave with this lady, I said, "What do you do?" He said, "I train dogs." And I said, "For how long?" He said, 20 years. So I said, let's meet next week. I want to know more about you. To me, that was a privilege. To me, it was a privilege to get to know somebody who is different, who looked interesting. I didn't know him. My human curiosity said, let's get to know this person. And then we became friends.
Yep.
I think the message here is we got to find joy in discovering other people.
Yep.
What is going on today is not acceptable.
No.
Violence, looting. There are some bad elements in the society who want to loot. There are some desperate people who have lost jobs and nothing to eat. And they take to violence and looting, perhaps. But the bottom line is in non-violence. The only way we are all going to come together. It is important for us to have peace because peace is a starting point for prosperity. If there is no peace, there is no prosperity. US has been a key player in bringing global peace and as a result, global prosperity. And I think we need Chicago to be at peace for Chicago people to have prosperity. And to have peace, we got to show compassion, empathy, love, affection, respect, dignity. The most important thing in the world today is inclusion. You need to be included in all discussions and dialogues. You need to have a seat at the table. Inclusion implies respect, dignity, also the chance to get a pie from development. If you are not at the table, you don't get the chance. People get upset because they are not included. I lived in Chicago for 55 years. I went to school at Illinois Institute of Technology in early 50s. And I hate to tell you that the south side of Chicago hasn't changed much in 55 years. Why? Because we have not included them in the process of development. We have segregated. We have created zones which are very prosperous and zones which are really in bad shape, where there is violence, ignorance, drug, terror, gangs. Remember, you and I had a conversation once saying if I was to look at Chicago's gangs, I will take 100 top leaders and take them to a world tour for a year. Expose them to people in India, China, Middle East, Europe, Germany, France, you name it. They are good people. Don't assume that they are all bad.
But Sam,
they get bad because of so many other things.
How do you, thank you so much because how we met was totally our joint friend Sasha brought, because you all had a meeting. And honestly, I was sitting there, I was nervous. I was like, who's this guy who's so important? I didn't know what to say. I was like, really, I was
very important, Toriano.
Yeah.
Why do you assume you're not important? You're a human being.
That's the part that I love about you, because you and it's so amazing. I love you. I like you like a father. What I thought about? It was me. This is crazy. This is a crazy story. Me, you, and Oliver North. Chanel. It was Sam Pitroda, General Oliver North.
It's so silly.
And me at a party to get.
I respect you.
Right.
It's okay for us to have differences.
I know, and
no problem with differences.
And you just made me think about that. If this little black kid from the west side of Chicago, Sam Pitroda,
we had a good conversation.
We sat there and we talked all night. We was at this dinner party. And but then how do you and not that there's an easy answer, but then I'm putting some pressure on you.
We need to find solutions inside. Each one of us needs to go inside.
But how do you get people that are, because I say the problem is the people that are in charge. So you're a person that's in charge, you have influence, but then clearly you've helped me out a lot. You've helped me with my dreams. You've invested in my dreams, you've mentored me, you let me call you. But how do we get more people that are in power, that are in charge, to help more people? I think that's,
We
you're right.
have to realize that there is joy in helping others.
Right.
I don't need to be selfish. It's not
Sure.
about what is good for me.
Right.
I'm okay.
Right.
All right. I need to be content.
Mm.
I need to be happy inside.
Right.
I need to be comfortable with myself. See, in order for me to feel good about you, I must feel good about myself.
Right.
If I do not feel good about myself, how can I feel good about you?
But how do you get someone that's in charge like you to realize
they have
that?
to really do soul searching.
Mm.
They have to look inside, saying, am I jealous? Am I too competitive? Am I selfish? Am I only looking for good to me? Or am I now at a point where I need to help people? Answers are inside. Answers are not in big ads and promotions and campaigns and stories. You know, what does it take for every human being to say, I will respect the other human being? What does it take?
Right.
We don't need rocket science for that.
Right.
We don't need rocket science to recognize that there are only two things that matter: planet and people. Well, you don't need to read 15 books and philosophies and psychology and anthropology for that.
Right.
Okay? Our grandparents and great-grandparents believed in those things.
Mm-hmm.
We look at the history of slavery. You know, I get fascinated with the history of slavery. Slavery was a big economic business at one time
Right.
because people felt that they could gain from other people's misery. So they could capture somebody, bring him, sell him, make money, and have a great bottle of wine while the other person is crying. In that framework, everyone believed that there is shortage of happiness.
Mm.
And I want more happiness at your cost.
Right.
There is shortage of goods. There is shortage of wealth. So I want to grab all the wealth and not let you have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Today we live in economy of surplus. Look at what technology has done. Connect to me is contributor to human civilization. Connectivity brings about democratization, decentralization, and demonetization. Connectivity connects people of all kinds together. So we are living in an era where there is enough for everybody. So why fight for
Amen.
little, power, little, wealth here or there? There's enough for everybody.
You know what? You made me just think about too. Chanel. Remember we talked yesterday. Dr. Blue said that in a company that everyone should respect everyone all the way down to the person that's cleaning. And think sometimes
because he has a job.
And sometimes
I'll give you one example. In 1975,
From the CEO to the to the maintenance guy.
company in Downers Grove, company called Westcom Switching.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, there weren't too many brown people heading a big technology companies. And we had a janitor who was African American. And he and I had a bond. What happened to me? So every day when I came to work at 8 o'clock, he would be waiting in the lobby with a brush. And first thing I would do is I would hug him. And it made his day. He was so happy. He was an old man, but he just felt so good.
Yeah.
That the head of my company hugs every day. And my message was, you are as important as I am. You are doing your job, I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
I love you for what you do. You do it well. I respect you. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
If I can do that, everybody can do that.
Yeah.
And if enough of us did that, you won't have this tension. I just don't understand. I never ask people, what's your religion? I don't care. I love them. And it's okay for you to criticize me. You are entitled to criticize me because I can't be good on everything.
Yep.
But can we work on agreements and not worry about disagreements? I think these are the issues we all need to address if we want peace in the neighborhood.
Amen.
Ultimately, neighborhood makes things happen. Communities have to be energized.
Yes. Yes.
It's not about what is happening in Soviet Union or China or India. It is about what is happening right in the 4 blocks where you live.
Right.
That's the starting point.
And showing that love and giving that.
So if we can make those 4 blocks happy, people working together, helping children, helping old people, helping poor, then it will multiply. How can we have fights and violence in poor neighborhood? Because they can't afford that violence.
No,
fight.
No, not at all.
We don't need it.
We don't need it. Sam,
I keep telling Toriano. Toriano wants to go out there and fight all the time. And I'm like, no, that's not the way. Like, we need love. We need peace. Because fighting is not going to resolve the issue, right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, once we fight and we I've punched you, you've punched me, what have we resolved? Nothing. A broken nose and a black eye.
Chanel's saying, Sam, how do we have that level? Because Chanel is always preaching, what you're saying, the peace and love and everything. And I would say, like right now, what would you say because right now, I mean, we can't deny that, for example, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, this guy, black guy, Mr. Blake, gets shot 7 times.
Police in America is not treating black youth properly.
No. And then
we have seen some examples.
Right.
I mean, these are some examples, but those examples matter.
Right.
Okay? I mean, I saw the picture where police is shooting 7 times in the back. There is no need for it. I mean, what are you trying to do? You learn that.
But as someone that's been in charge on a national level for countries, what do we do? I mean, because the black youth is tired. I mean, something has to happen, something has to change. There has to be some kind of new rules regarding
black youth should not take to violence. Black youth must focus on non-violence. That's what Martin Luther King talked about. That's what Mandela talked about. That's what Gandhi talked about. And looting and violence is not the answer. Answer is
I love it.
Follow non-violence.
It's never the answer. Never.
Yes.
I think people need to effectively learn how to communicate more so that you can dissect what the root of the problem is.
Just because somebody says you are not good doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
Right.
They have inner strength. Don't have inner weakness to take to violence. Only weaker people take to violence.
Only weaker people take to violence.
Put that on the board.
I love that. Only weaker people take to violence.
That's right. If you get mad at me, I will never hit you.
And I've never been in a fight before, and people make fun of me because I haven't.
Only weaker people take I love that.
We are strong people. Okay? We have long way to go.
Be strong, Toriano.
We have to lift a lot of people out of poverty. We have to look at larger public good. And the answer is inside. Answer is not outside. Don't blame somebody else. Let's start with blaming ourselves.
Yep.
Okay. So we got to tell people to focus on non-violence. Respect other human beings.
Right.
Follow logic, discussion, debate like we are having today. And spread this message to large number of young people.
Absolutely.
Okay, saying, look, fellows, we have a long way to go. If there's a 20-year-old, African-American black kid today, he has another 18 years to go.
Yep.
Because he'll live to be 100 in America.
Yep. He should.
So why are you worried about next 4 weeks or last 5 weeks? Think long term. Focus on education. Don't take to drug. Don't take to violence. Control your anger. Respect other human being. Discuss, debate, learn, watch others, and build local community.
Yeah. Hey Sam, before we have to go, can we switch gears and we could talk so much, and this is important to talk about too. Is the Pitroda art project, because a thing that the world has to know. Sam Pitroda is one of the most phenomenal artists that are out there. I've never seen anyone, and I know a lot of people with more art that you've created. And at the same time, I've been there in Chanel. Sam will sit and create an entire masterpiece on a napkin. I've seen it before. Like,
I love it.
Yes.
When?
Waiting for you.
He's like, I
do this all the time. Here, I'll show you.
He'll sit.
Whenever I talk to somebody, I do.
Oh my God. He'll sit there and create an entire, let's see.
So let's see. Yeah, for example, this.
No way.
Yeah. Okay. These are all done while talking to people on phone. Stress reliever.
So can we talk about the Pitroda art project?
First of all, I'm not a great artist.
Oh my God,
I'm a doodler.
You're not a doodler.
Because I know
He said he doodles.
I'm
a doodle.
I've not studied anything. I just do it.
Oh my God! Right.
To focus my attention.
And it becomes a masterpiece, huh?
Right.
Okay. So I started art gallery called Pitroda Art to sell art from poor countries to rich countries. So we started artists from Costa Rica, Ecuador, Mexico, Serbia. Slowly and slowly we want to take these artists to the global market. And when this Black Lives Matter came up, I was doodling. Let me show you something. I don't know whether I have it here. I have on my phone. I was doodling, and I doodled something, and I said, let's invite people, submit their art on Black Lives Matter, and we will have a competition. We did that, and to my surprise, a lot of people submitted art. We found some great art critics as judges. Okay. And we started a program on internet where we begin conversation with artists on Black Lives Matter. You were there at the meeting, and I thought it was pretty good. And we have deadline probably in October sometime that people submit their art.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope that a lot of artists will submit. And as a result, we will sensitize people about art, this movement called Black Lives Matter. Okay. I'm just trying to find that piece of art on my phone, but I can't seem to find it.
And that was just, I think the amazing thing about that was that, your idea, and I know it's true, how art and music can help us get through to what we're going through now, because it reminds.
For example, you look at this. Okay, I did the sketch, and I'm going to do this big painting.
Wow.
Okay, and that says it all to me. Okay, then there's another one which is equally interesting. People can express themselves differently.
Right.
And art really connects your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Black Lives Matter created a lot of emotions in public.
Yeah.
What happened in Minnesota really could light a fire in the hearts of people. Okay. It's like, this is not fair. We all saw it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
What happened in Kenosha, we saw it on TV, and we said, that's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And when can we stop this? But it cannot be stopped by burning stores and more violence. It can only be stopped by soul searching.
Mm-hmm.
If enough people did soul searching, I think things will change. It is sad that for over 200 years, we are still talking about human rights, values, inclusion, diversity, love, affection. These are all fundamental things in life. So art is, going back to your question, art is one way to express
No, and that's super phenomenal. And the thing that you made me think about was when I lived in Kenya, this elder, he said, Hakuna Muziki, Hakuna Maisha, which means no music, no life, no art, no life. And he meant it. Because I asked him this question. I said, we were talking, and I said, what if there was no music? And he just went, Hakuna Muziki, Hakuna Maisha. And then the guy said, he asked you, like, if there's no music, there's no life. There's no art, there's no life. And he just was so upset. And he's like, ask him, what if there was no air? Ask him what if there's no water? How would you talk to the other villages? How would you, he was so, and when you said that, it just made me think about that. We don't think about the power of love through music, through art. I mean, because your art, and I'm glad you're sharing your gift, and you are definitely more than a doodler. I've seen you have these amazing pieces, but
I don't have a formal training, you see.
Right.
It's probably the best art.
Oh, his art is amazing, Chanel. But I mean, with your art, you feel the love. I mean, whether it's your art on a napkin or whether it's on this canvas, you know, it's coming from somewhere, and that would be so phenomenal. I think that's a way that people, if they just started maybe writing whatever and you don't, and like I love that you said you're a doodler, because sometimes people say, well, I can't sing, you mean, or I can't, play music, I can't play the piano, or I can't draw. Just do it to get that expression out, to even just relieve the stress, so that you don't feel that, that you have to go break something, or that you have to go be violent back to combat all the pain that's going through the world right now.
I agree. People have to have some hobby, singing, painting, reading, writing, sports, all these things matter. You see, at the end of the day, for young people, according to me, what matters is one discipline. We got to teach young people more discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Amen. Amen.
2, we need to teach them to respect other human beings.
Mm-hmm.
We need to teach them more about values and ethics and morals. What is right, what is wrong, what is fair, what is unfair, what is proper, what is not very proper, what is good, what is bad. We need to teach these fundamental things.
Yep.
That hurting a dog is a bad thing. Any animal. I'm giving dog as an example. Hurting any human being is a bad thing. Then we have to teach more about skills to be able to earn something. Whatever those skills are. It could be training dogs like you have, or engineering, or singing, or sports, or whatever. You got to have a skill.
Yep.
You have to put something in to develop skill. Skills don't come without putting something in. If there is no input, there is no output. So you need a lot of input, lot of delay, and some output comes.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, people want no input and lot of output.
Yep.
Doesn't happen that way.
No.
Okay. So you got to invest in your future.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can teach some of these basic things to young people, we don't have to teach them. We have to just talk about them. They know it. You need to articulate them.
Yes.
These needs. And people respond. You have to begin with the fact that everybody is a good human being. Everybody has same potential.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody means well.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to hurt anybody.
No.
But they wind up doing it for some different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get probably enough love in young age. They were not treated properly. All children need love and affection when they are growing up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of our problems are also because children get to be raised in foster homes.
Mm-hmm.
Children don't have people to look up to. Children get abused. Children get beaten up.
Mm-hmm.
Children go hungry. It is the environment that makes them sometimes what they are.
Mm-hmm.
But they are essentially good human beings. And we must accept that this is not rocket science.
Man, Sam, thank you so much. You've I want to just really encourage people to read your book because it's just
also available on Amazon.
What's
You
that?
can get it in digital format on Amazon.
And get it on digital format on Amazon because it's your story. I mean, from the village that you've come from to where you're at now. I mean, you're a testimonial that you're not just saying this. Anyone could.
Anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. But it's education.
It is education.
You see, education is empowering.
Mm-hmm.
Education is redefining yourself.
Mm.
Education is a journey.
Right.
It's a lifelong process.
Right.
Education gives you so much to explore.
Right.
Okay. And if you keep exploring the world, there's no time to do anything wrong.
Mm.
You explore ocean, you explore mountain, you explore
I love
God,
that.
you explore relationship with people, you explore food, you explore forest.
If you explore, there's no time. You don't have time to do anything wrong. I love that.
Whenever you have impulse to do something wrong, let's say I will explore this new.
Right. I love it.
Divert your energy to exploring. Ocean. There is so much to learn about ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know enough because we have never explored.
Mm.
You can spend your entire life just learning. Curiosity is very important.
Amen.
Okay. We need to be curious about everything. Like I was curious about you, and that's what brought me to you.
Yep.
So curiosity has to be cultivated.
Amen. Sam, thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. Really appreciate this opportunity.
I want
I
people.
hope we can have more conversations, and if we can reach out to young children, young African Americans.
Yes.
We should do that. I'm all for it. We can have more conversations, but they're all our kids.
They're all kids, and they need to.
White, young, black, brown,
and
they're all kids.
And now with the internet, now there's no excuse. If you feel like you're gonna do something wrong, go explore. That's the bottom line. Thank you so much, the amazing Sam Pitroda. Thank you so much, Sam. We'll talk to you soon. Toriano Sanzoni, the Wolfkeeper. Thank you all for tuning in. Please share this broadcast with everyone because it's so important. Thank you again. Peace and love. Nonviolence.
Love you.
Love you.